Hey friends, we are live for day 9 of 100 days. I hope you've been able to catch the first 8 days. If not, go back and watch them on YouTube. That's where I would point you to. So you could go to strammel.info/YouTube and get to my YouTube channel, and you can watch the other 8 nights because they're so amazing. But no, just want to welcome everyone. We're going live on 8 different destinations, a couple of different locations, if you will, pages, groups on Facebook. We're on Twitch, we're on Twitter /Periscope, and we're on YouTube. So welcome wherever you're at physically and whatever platform you're watching on. It's awesome for you to be here with me tonight. If you would, we love engagement, so let us know where you're watching from. Maybe you're listening. You'd be surprised how many people just listen to YouTube and watch it, or how many people actually have it silent even and just read the words if there are words to it. But anyway, a lot of people that do that. One of the advantages, I guess, on watching things on Facebook a lot of times is there are automatic words, if you will. I don't know why the thought can't transcribe. Yeah, transcription automatically there. But we are definitely happy to have you on here tonight. I'm learning as I do each of these how to hopefully present better, how to communicate better. And one of those is I keep catching myself saying we. This is a one-man production at this point in time, but nonetheless, have a new piece of equipment tonight. Hopefully you are noticing that the lighting's better at least. There's still a shadow that's cast on my face because I'm a hat guy, and I've already looked into how to actually deal with that. I just got in a new light today, have it set up, not perfectly set up, but nonetheless, I did want to bring it into the production. And so I'll briefly show you what it looks like here in a minute. Go to another screen and show it to you, but that's what we're working with. And so I'll do what I've been doing every night and start off with two encouragements, if you will. So I encourage you to start a YouTube channel. If you haven't, if you have one, spend more time on it. If you haven't created one yet, the one piece of advice I'll give you, I'm going to give you 2 pieces of advice on that, but I'll come back to that. And the second one is go out there and create you an email list that you can actually manage and have segmentation, that type of thing. You really want to be in a place where you own your list, if you will, not be held hostage in many ways to different platforms that could either disappear overnight, that you could get banned from for whatever reason, or any number of reasons why. And organic reach is at an all-time low. And so if you have your own email list, then you're going to be able to contact your community, contact those that you're connected with whenever you want, however you want, and have a lot more people seeing what you're trying to communicate. So I'm pointing people to a email marketing service that you can get for free called ConvertKit. So that's strammel.info/ConvertKit. So go get that. One other thing I'll mention before I go back to YouTube for a moment is StreamYard is the software, cloud-based software, streaming software that makes what I'm doing tonight possible. So I love the platform. So you see that link down there, strammel.info/StreamYard. Again, something that you can get for free, forever free. Start out with something that allows you to go live on 2 platforms with the free product and stream up to 20 hours a month. And by the way, this is not sponsored by StreamYard. I just love the tool, and my hope would be that everyone that's seeing this, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching replay, go out and get that account and start going live. And I'll talk about that in a minute as well. I'm going to talk through tonight actually a conversation that I had with a friend, because I think it'll be helpful for others to maybe hear kind of the conversation that we had, some of the ideas that was shared with me, and some thoughts that I had with regards to strategy to get started on those. So StreamYard, again, strammel.info/StreamYard. You can get a free account. You can also basically have video conference calls for up to 10 people, one being yourself and 9 others. So if you never need more than 10 total people, you could eliminate Zoom potentially if you're paying for Zoom, or you may even have the free account. But with the free Zoom account, during the height of COVID, they removed the restriction for 45 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever it is. But the free version of Zoom is limited to 45 minutes, I believe, whereas StreamYard, no limit. You could be on a conference call for 6 hours with up to 10 people and totally free. Great platform. Enough about StreamYard. Can't say enough about it, but it's what I use, and I've got the plan where I can go live on up to 8 different destinations at the same time on all the major social media platforms, including LinkedIn, which I don't have access to yet. LinkedIn has been difficult for many to get approved to live stream on, so I'm not there yet. Would love to be, and that's another focus area for me soon. But at this point in time, I've applied a couple of times and haven't gotten it, so it's kind of on the back burner at this point in time. But back to YouTube. Back to the conversation I had today with a friend this early evening, actually. But actually, before I do that, I want to share something that I think is kind of funny or comical that I've noticed when I am going live. And so you may experience something similar to this, or you may be experiencing it, or if you decide to start going live, you may experience it. My mouth gets the driest it ever is all day long. My nose itches when it's not itched all day long, and all kinds of other annoyances. So it's amazing. I literally will sit here for maybe 5 to 10 minutes before I hit the button, even though I'm mentally ready. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, tonight maybe, is that not going to bother me? Is that going to not happen? But it does. So I'm going to take a drink actually right now. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. For 9 nights straight now, it's been the same. So it is what it is. But let me know if you're enjoying the music that's going on in the background. I'm still asking people to let me know if it's an annoyance, if it's too loud, if it's not loud enough, if it's a distraction, or if you like it. So we're using Soundstripe for that, and another great tool that we love to use when we're live streaming, or even when we're doing a pre-recorded video. So back to the conversation I had with a friend tonight. I was talking with a friend that happens to be a coach, among other things, and we were talking about starting a YouTube channel, podcasting, websites, various other things. And so but one of the comments was that this individual wasn't sure if they were quite ready to, start a YouTube channel, because they wanted to start out of the gate with excellence. And that's a great approach. That's a great mindset. And we talked through that. And, my first recommendation was, yes, as much as I agree that that's true, that you want to do that, and that you can't rewind videos if they remain out there, then we all have a starting point, though, right? We all start at zero. We the best newscaster in the world, the best actor in the world, probably wasn't the best actor or newscaster in the world when they started, but it was their job. It was something they wanted to do, so they charged ahead and did it anyway and improved over time. So there's a certain amount of, being prepared mentally and other things, but there's also another aspect to that where you just have to jump in and go, because honestly, you're probably never going to be fully ready. And then even when you think you are, you're going to do your first live stream, you're going to do your first pre-recorded video. And if it's a pre-recorded video, you're going to, do 100 takes before you have something that you'll go with. And then you'll finally, stick with something, and then you still won't like it. So someone's here saying not loud enough. If louder, it might drown you out. Okay, yeah, that's good input. I think you're right. I've tested the volumes, and the volume that it's at seems to be kind of the sweet spot where it's not distracting, but yet, at least when I'm silent, you might be able to hear it some. So I don't know how much it adds or not, but I just got it running. So thanks for that input. So back to YouTube. So I guess the point that I'm making is yes, you want to be prepared mentally. Yes, you want to have some thoughts about what you want to do, but at some point you just need to jump in and do it. And the strategy that we discussed was, if you're not ready to put it out to the world, but you want to get started, right? You want to start going live. You want to start, just practicing basically. Well, the approach that really kind of covers your basis in 3 ways. So if you want to have a YouTube channel, if you want to live stream more, and you want to podcast, then really the perfect combination is StreamYard, again, which is free. So you can stream a YouTube channel, and then you would stream to that YouTube channel. You could also stream to a private Facebook group, and then you could download those videos, watch them again, whatever. And so if you use StreamYard to go live, you could go live to a unlisted YouTube video, or make it to where it's going to be unlisted. You could also stream simultaneously to a private Facebook group that doesn't have any members in it yet. You can create one, and then you can go live on those platforms. You can see how those different platforms between Facebook and YouTube are different. One of those being, for example, you can stream 1080p, which is high definition, to YouTube, but you can only stream 720, which is still pretty good, but it's not considered high definition. You can only stream 720p to Facebook unless you're a gamer. So I don't think that my community, at least, I don't think there's a lot of quote unquote professional gamers, or those that have gone through the effort to get the special privileges on Facebook. So I'm just going to assume that you're just like me, and the best you can do is 720p on Facebook. So the value in doing this is, over time, just like I'm streaming, do my best to stream for 100 straight days, you're going to get better over time. You're going to see what you need to work on. You're going to see what's working well, what's not working well. You can ultimately delete those videos off the platform if you want, and you're just going to get better. And then you can eventually decide, hey, I'm as ready as I'm going to be. It's time to put myself out there, let my community follow me on my journey. That's the same that I'm doing. Everyone here that's watching this, whether you're brand new today, or if you've been somehow following me for the last 6 months when I started this YouTube channel, then you'll know that hopefully you've seen improvement over time, got more to work on in many ways. But as I've mentioned, I think almost every night, I started with the webcam that's built into the computer and the microphone that's built into the computer. And thankfully, I didn't let that stop me from hitting the record button and hitting the live button and just going. So I'll be the first to admit that it takes some courage for most of us to do that. So I applaud you if you're already doing that. I applaud you if you're thinking about doing that. Let's just do it. One of the things that these live streams are not really about that. What I'm about to say, they're about providing value. But for those that want, more coaching, more one-on-one type coaching with regards to establishing a YouTube presence or how to grow a channel, what the ins and outs of that are doing, let me know. You can send me an email to Shane@Trammel, TRAMMEL.me, or you can send me a direct message. You can send me you can ping me on Messenger. You can literally put it in the comments here and I'll get in touch with you, or send me an email. Be happy to do my best to help you in your journey doing the same thing. But we talked about a number of other things in that conversation I had with my friend, but I thought it would be helpful to share with you a strategy that would allow you to get started and not wait any longer. It's not too late to join YouTube and get started. It won't be too late, honestly, in a year. It's likely that it won't be too late in 2 years, but it will just be 2 years. It will just be 1 year longer for you to get to the point where you're even more comfortable on the platform, being in front of a camera, being able to deal with the fact that you're, your own worst critic. Most of us are our own worst critic. So, you're just going to have to punch fear in the face and hit record. That's not original to me, but Sean Cannell says that, and I think it's a great saying. Just punch fear in the face, hit record, start before you're ready, and just get into it. So enough about that, I think. But from a summary perspective, get your YouTube channel created, and by the way, create a branded account. You can Google that, or you can send me a direct message. I can send you some links on what that really means. But when you create your YouTube channel, you want to make sure you create a branded account. Most of you probably already have a Gmail or a Google ID, so you'll just go to youtube.com. You'll be logged in already to your Gmail, most likely. Create your channel and just make sure it's a branded account. But again, I could, if it's something you're wanting to do and want to get it done in a much faster way, and you don't have a lot of time, hit me up and I can help you get started on all that. But just get started. That's what I would say. And the one other thing that we talked about tonight, which I'll share, and this live stream is going to be very specific to these few things, and then we're going to let everyone have the rest of their night. And it's already 10:30 here Central Standard Time in Texas. And actually, by the way, I meant to mention I started the earliest I've started yet. So the first several of these I didn't get going until 11:30, 11:45 at night. As much as I try, I don't seem to get live until later in the evening. I'm a night owl, number one. Got a family, got a normal job like many of you do as well. And so this is one of my hustles, if you will, moonlighting, call it whatever you want. But I'm committed to growing my YouTube channel. And I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate each of you that are on YouTube. If you're not, if you're on Facebook, sorry, I don't mean to discount you and maybe the platform that you prefer, but please come over to strammel.info/YouTube and join me on YouTube. I'm at about 307, I think, subscribers when I looked today before I went live. And my first goal is to get to 1,000 with 4,000 watch hours. So when you get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you can be a part of the YouTube Partner Program, which means you can quote unquote monetize your channel. Now that's glamorized, I think, a lot in the minds of a lot of people, and it's certainly a milestone. But honestly, just so we're clear, when you get to that point and you are able to monetize or basically have advertisements on your videos, and you may choose that you don't even want to do that, but you still want to sign up for the partner program because there are other benefits. But if you do want to monetize, it's still at that very early stage. It's pennies, pennies per month. But everybody has to start somewhere. I will say one of the other advantages to reaching that is you can then have a community tab in the YouTube dashboard, and so you can basically, in essence, post kind of like blog post on the community tab, and those of your subscribers that have turned on notifications will see that, or if they've subscribed and go to the different channels that they're subscribed to, they would see it. I'm curious as well, if you're out there, I'd love to know. And again, I apologize if you're not on YouTube that I'm talking so much about it, but I do want the whole community that's connected with me to know, at least tonight, quite a few things about YouTube. But if you get your first 100 subscribers, then you can customize your URL, which, in other words, prior to that, it's just a bunch of letters and numbers, really something that you're not going to be able to memorize. So the first goal is to get to that 100. And what I talked about with my friend tonight is something that I've not really heard on any of the other YouTube channels. That's not to say that I've consumed every single video from every YouTube expert on how to get to your first 100, but it's common to see a video, how to get to your first 100, how to get to your first 1,000, how to get to 10,000, how to get to 100,000. But that first 100 is a real key milestone for the custom URL, for one. And I think the best way to get there, honestly, is to just ask your friends and ask them, say, hey, would you please come follow me in this journey that I'm embarking on to grow a YouTube channel. And one other way, which I've honestly also not heard so much about, is to, in the Facebook groups that you're in, if it comes naturally, put together some videos that deals with and answers some of the problems, questions, challenges that you're seeing on a consistent basis in those groups. And then, as a comment, say, hey, it turns out I have a video on that. It might help you out. Share the link, and you're going to get some people that are going to say, wow, that actually resonated with me, that actually helped me, and they'll subscribe. And I would also encourage you, as you begin to start making videos, in the kindest way possible and in a way that is comfortable for you, you literally ask people to not only subscribe, but to turn on notifications. The interesting thing about YouTube is when they just subscribe, it's almost like it really doesn't matter that they just subscribed, other than getting to that 1,000 mark and 10,000, all that. Certain things, you get certain privileges, but as far as it helping your channel with regards to reach and people seeing it, it really doesn't. They have to turn on the notifications. It's when they turn on notifications that when they go onto the platform, go onto YouTube, they'll see when a new video has been posted. And so you want to ask consistently, but in a way that you're comfortable with. As I said, ask people to not only subscribe, but to click on notifications. There are some things that you have to do to get that custom URL. So you'll need to have a description of your channel. You need to have a profile picture. You'll need to have not only a profile picture, but the header. So those are three things that you'll need to do. And then get to the first one, then get your 100 subscribers, and you'll be able to get your custom URL, and then you can remember it. That's why I use a short link. That's why I say strammel.info/YouTube. That's actually a short URL that helps me track who's clicking on the link, that type of thing. I don't know who specifically, but I know, on a given day, in a given month, various statistics about what region of the country or what part of the world, people clicking on it. And so that's helpful. But if I'm just telling someone straight out, I can say go to youtube.com/ Shane Trammell, and I was only able to do that once I got to 100 subscribers. So the one other thing that that's helpful when you get to 100 subscribers is that you can I lost my train of thought. It'll come to me. There's one other nice thing that's available to you when you get to 100, other than the memorable URL, and it'll come to me. But get that YouTube channel created. It literally only takes 5 minutes or less, 5 or 6 minutes, and you're set. And you can go. Okay, and it came to me. The other thing that's nice about having your first 100 subscribers, I believe it's at your first 100. I'll look this up and put a comment in if it doesn't turn out to be the case. But I believe it's once you get to 100, could be 1,000, but I believe it's 100. When you get to 100 subscribers, you can basically share a link that will automatically prompt someone to click OK, if you will, to subscribe. I'll actually pull up the link here in just a second in an incognito window, and you'll see what it looks like. Now, that only works if they're on a laptop, if you will, or a desktop. In other words, if they're on a smart device like a tablet or a phone, that link doesn't work, which is strange. I don't know why it doesn't, but it only works on a computer. So let me show you just real quick. I'm going to show you the light, just so you can see that. That's what I'm reviewing. Hopefully you're seeing that it has improved what we're doing here in my studio. But it's not perfect yet, and that's why this is not an official video for the light. But yeah, I think we're getting close to the end for tonight. I do want to say, again, repeating myself, but thank you for watching. I would ask that you just click the share button. If you're on Facebook and you think this was valuable in any way, like it if you would, YouTube or Facebook otherwise, and any comments that you can share with regards to what you're getting out of this, possibly what you would like to get out of these. I've got now still 91 more nights to go. So, and I'll be honest, if anyone's curious, I'm only in it 9 days, but this past Sunday, I really didn't want to go live. I'm like, I just don't want to do it. So I try to chill on Sundays, and I just wasn't feeling it, but I did it anyway, right? So I'm sure there'll be other days or nights like this where I won't feel like I want to do it, but I would love to have you guys come alongside me, encourage me, give me a thumbs up if you want me to continue on. So I will if you don't, but I would love that. So yeah, let me know in the comments things that you would like to know more about. I really do want this to be valuable. So, I'm still trying to get in a stride here, but I do plan on having some more planned out topics to discuss. So what I am going to do real quick is, I'm going to pull up a different window for a minute, and I'm going to show you what the link would look like, or what the screen would look like if you share a URL with the subscribe action, if you want to call it that, built into it. So I'm going to pull up a different window here, and I'm going to go to the screen here. You may not be able to see it because of the overlay, so I'm gonna pull this down. Now you should be able to see it and hear me. So I've if I go to, and this is a short link to do it, strammell.info /YouTube, and then hit enter, you're going to notice that it says confirm channel subscription. Are you sure you want to subscribe to Shane Trammell? You can hit subscribe, and then it would subscribe. They may hit cancel. If you hit cancel or subscribe, it's still going to take you. It's still going to take them to your channel, but that's just kind of a cool feature. All right, so we're back. I'll mention one other thing. What you see, it's so hard to get used to pointing with all this, but you see right there in the background, that's actually a monitor. That's called it's made by a company called Blackmagic Design. It's basically an HDMI monitor, and it's not positioned in the best place right now. It would be better if it's actually in front of me, but I have it up so that I could, before I started the show, so I could hear my audio volumes, my voice, and also the music that I'm playing. And if you're wondering, one other thing I'll tell you about my setup tonight, and it's pretty much the same setup I've had for every night since we started, except for this new light, as I've got another laptop over here to my right that's playing, in essence, a playlist on Soundstripe. So it's pretty cool. I don't have to do anything special. I just have a playlist that I've been using and like. I just hit play and make sure that particular audio channel is on, and it just plays. There's plenty. I already know ahead of time there's enough songs that I don't have to babysit it, and it's just going to go. One other thing I'll mention, and this is really kind of an advanced topic, but those that are watching, I do have, I guess, different types of people, if you will, involved in my community, because I'm reaching coaches. I work with coaches that want help with technology, that type of thing, and then I also in the StreamYard community help with technical ways to level up, if you will, your live stream. So I've got a piece of hardware called the A10 Mini, and so it's what gives me the capability to have the overlay that you've got, although you can do that with StreamYard. Some of the things you can't do, for example, really is like this picture-in-picture. Now, of course, you just saw that. That's me again, but I could change that to be the video source for that picture-in-picture could be another video from another computer, another Chrome tab, any number of things. Just turn it off as well. So we'll leave it at that. I think I'm going to be rambling if I don't go ahead and say goodnight. So I do appreciate you joining. Let me know how I can help you. Hope you have a great evening, a great morning, great afternoon, depending on whether you're watching this live or the replay. It would be helpful as well if you're watching the replay, maybe just comment replay. So I am really curious how many people are able to, or have been able to, tune in while it's actually live, and how many people have watched the replay. The one other thing I'll mention, and that's another thing that I'm learning. I know I say that multiple times, but the thing I like about StreamYard, for example, it's a paid plan, but with StreamYard, if you have one of their paid plans, you can actually download your live stream after it's over, and then you could edit your live stream. You could split it up into smaller segments. If you are doing Instagram stories, TikTok, YouTube actually has what they call YouTube Shorts now, up to 60 seconds. There's a lot of ways that you could repurpose your live stream or even a pre-recorded video and use it in other ways. So that, Gary Vaynerchuk is, I think, well known by many, and he actually has about a 65-page or 67-page, in essence, PowerPoint telling people how to basically create 100 pieces of content a day. And a lot of that is repurposing video. A lot of that's Twitter, various different things. So anyway, if you've never listened to anything that Gary Vee puts out there, I do highly recommend that. He has a colorful vocabulary. I will say that. Vocabulary that I don't prefer. Let's just be honest. But I guess I look past that because he's got a lot of great things to say. If you're an entrepreneur, if you aspire to be an entrepreneur, even if you're not an entrepreneur, he's got a lot of good things, I think, to say. I love his jab, 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 right hook concept, where you give and you give and you give, and then that right hook is the ask. And at some point you ask. At some point you say, hey, if you're interested, I have this product, I have this offer for you, I have this service. We all have something to share. We all have skills that others can use, right? So at some point you do that. So he models that in a really, really good way. He gives a lot, shares his knowledge constantly. So I'm encouraged by that, and that's kind of my model as well. So we're going to call it a night. We're going to end this stream, and I do appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, and we will catch you in the next one. All right, bye.